discussing business, you discuss business behind closed doors. Like this is not for everybody to see. I mean, because
Right.
when you negotiate deals and contracts, man, it's like you don't go live when you're doing it. You
Mhm.
don't throw an event. Like you do it behind closed doors. So for him to come out and publicly say Marlon Wayans wanted 40,000 for an interview, you're wrong for even speaking on that when it's supposed to be confidential. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So you're wrong, number one, for that. Number two, you're laughing as if Marlon's not worth $40,000.
Right.
It's Marlon Wayans, bro. He worth
Mhm.
way more than that. So Marlon is, to me, Marlon is he a legend, bro.
Yeah,
I,
no, hands down.
he's a legend. I think he's funny. I mean, for DJ Vlad, Marlon would have. I think Marlon would. I think he would have done views. I mean, because
Yeah.
Marlon, he's funny. To me, Marlon, he's a legend, bro. Like, what's what's scary movie without Marlon?
No, no shit, dude. I
You see
mean,
what I'm saying? Like, it's that's
don't be a menace. You know what I'm saying? It was
iconic, bro.
like I
It's
said, like
iconic.
they're icons, bro. And just the fact that Vlad even put this is the shit that pissed me off. Vlad even put like his interviews with Marlon's interviews, saying that his interviews get more hits than Marlon's interviews. So how is he gonna spend more? Like it was almost to the fact. It was almost to the point where he was like comparing. Well, he was comparing himself to Marlon
To
Wayne.
Marlon, nah.
But like,
People
bro,
and people not
it
watching the
doesn't
interview
matter.
for they're not watching the interview for Vlad. They're watching it for they're
The
watching it for
person
Boost. They're
who
watching for
right.
Aries.
So
They're watching for DL Euler,
right.
DL
No,
Euler.
but he was saying that his interview on I think it was Matt Hoffer podcast got more views
Oh, that
than
okay.
but that's what I'm saying. Like nobody's watching it for Vlad. We were they probably were watching it because it was Matt
Yeah,
Hoffer's.
because it's Math Alpha. We ain't
We
watching
wanted to
because
see.
of
We
Vlad.
wanted to see if he was gonna. Because the only reason why, first of all, I don't watch Vlad TV. Period. I don't give him a
Me
click
neither.
or nothing. Because he's a. I will thumb down his shit and go off the page just so he don't get the whole view. But that's how much of a hater of him I am. But if he's on another podcast like Math or somebody, I watch just to see if anybody checks him on
Yeah,
anything.
and that's pretty much
That's
why
the
I watch
only
too.
reason why I watch. And for the most part, nobody, they might ask him questions, but nobody ever checks him. And that's what pisses me off is that he keeps inviting himself to the barbecue and don't bring nothing to eat. That's the kind of nigga Vlad is because he wants to be accepted by the black culture so bad, but he keeps punching down on the culture whenever it don't go his way. Just like a typical crybaby ass person. He
Yeah.
is a straight ban. That he's a ban on that all day. Like bro, I cannot bro, you don't even understand. I can't stand Vlad as much. Like Vlad is up there with Drake and all the culture vultures of the season. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Like for sure. But Vlad is
Yeah.
definitely my top three. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, come on, man. Marlon Wayans of all people, bro.
Marlon Wayne, bro. Like even if he offered you 40,000, let's just bro, look, let's just put it like this. If I'm a like for instance, if I wanted Marlon Wayne on the show and I go, yo, Marlon, I love your work, I love everything. How much is it to get you on my show? And he said 40 bands and 30%. I'm like, look, I can't do 40 bands. I can't do 30%. We're not that big. How about 10 bands and 5%? Or I can give you 30 bands, but I can't give you 30% of revenue or something like that. Just kind of let him know where I'm at.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I hate him, and it's not. I
Yeah.
mean I'm gonna clown him. I'm just doing business. It's like you doing business. At the end of the day, he's a businessman. This is how he makes his bread.
Yeah.
And then you kind of work it from there. You know what I mean? But you don't be like,
Yeah. You
fuck out of here, Nick. You ain't worth that. Get bro. He's Marlon Wayans, bro. Like you would you have Tom Martin that or Will Smith or Jay-Z?
it's
You know what I'm
like
saying?
if it's the way I feel like that situation happened because it's the way that it's social media and it's the climate of the how our culture treats each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our culture we don't love each other, we don't respect each other, and we choose not to hold our legends in high regard, right? And I just give you an example. Well, I like explain what I mean. So when it comes to our legends, so when you talk about like Michael Jackson or Prince or just Whitney Houston, right? So you talk about Whitney Houston. To me, Whitney Houston has the most beautiful voice I've ever heard in my life. But we don't choose to remember her by her voice. We choose to remember her by her problem.
Right.
Like that's how we choose to remember our
Yeah.
legends.
Same thing with
Like
Michael
we,
Jackson,
yeah, same thing.
R.
Like
Kelly.
Bobby
You know.
Brown. It's like we just choose to remember them at their worst. But so when it comes to Marlon, because he hasn't been, I guess because he hasn't been doing anything lately. I mean, he's been doing his stand up, and I think his stand up is funny. But
Yeah,
as
yeah.
far as him like being like in the movies and all that kind of stuff,
Well, he
he
does
has
a lot of
been.
producing and filming. You know what I'm
But
saying?
see,
He's writing a lot of
it's
movies.
like you don't see him in front of the camera,
Right. Yeah.
and because you don't
Exactly.
see him in front of the
Yeah,
camera, oh, he
yeah,
washed and
yeah.
yada
But
yada
he's out
yada.
there. He's doing
But
shit. Yeah.
if you look at his resume, bro,
Oh yeah. No,
and
forget
in
it.
Living Color,
Mm-hmm.
Wayne Brother Show,
Mm-hmm.
White Chicks,
Mm-hmm.
um, damn, all of the scary movies.
Uh-huh.
Like, bro, like this dude is
And he
this
even got
dude.
writing credits on his brother's movies, whether it's "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker," and one of my favorite movies, by the way. Um, you get writing credits on there because you know it's a collective
Yeah.
thought. It's not just Marlon movie. It's not just Wayne. It's you know they're all involved in some way, form, or fashion. But yeah, I get what you're saying, bro, and that's what I'm saying. Vlad got so comfortable. This is what happens when you let people get comfortable.
Yeah, I agree.
You know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying? This is what
I
happens
agree.
when you let somebody in, bro. It's just like when you let somebody stay at your crib and they get so comfortable that they go into your refrigerator or they put their feet up on your couch. It's that moment when you realize, yo, this motherfucker is way too comfortable in my spot. I got to do something. You understand? Or when you
Yeah.
let somebody borrow something and they tend not to take care of it as good as when they first started borrowing it because they're so used to borrowing it from you or like whatever. But that's what Vlad does. He's been in the game so long. He is so comfortable disrespecting us. You know what I'm saying? And another thing is that all the people that come on his show, like Boosie, Michael Jai White, all these guys come on there respectfully because they don't see it the way we see it. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, because Vlad is their homeboy and Vlad is giving them money.
Mhm.
But if Vlad was not giving them bread or paying any of these people and just doing an interview on the strength of like, yo, we're gonna make some views and then whatever, they wouldn't even go up there. So Vlad knows that he got the upper hand because he has money now to pay these people. He really thinks they're his friends when they're not. They're just there for the bag and they're out. But I respect the people who don't go up there, even though Vlad be offering them mad bread, like Joe Budden and all these other people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he just gotten way too comfortable in the culture, and now he's disrespecting the same culture that let him in, that helps him feed his family. Because if that was the case, he wouldn't go on, like, for instance, I forgot what podcast he was on. He was like, yeah, I got security all day. Ain't nobody gonna run up on me and do some wild. If you're talking like that, it's because you're not part of this culture, because you wouldn't need to tell people you have security all the time if you were part of the culture, because you already know somebody's gonna run up on you for the fuck shit you do.
Mhm.
So that's my thing. I just think he's a culture vulture. He is not for black folks, and he's just using the culture. That period. That's it. I don't care. You cannot convince me otherwise. You can't.
Yeah.
He ain't putting money. Besides him paying his guests because he knows that's the only way he can get juicy shit from whoever,
Yeah.
that's the only way he's gonna be able to do it. Because nobody's gonna go up there and tell Vlad anything unless they're giving him they're getting a bag. God knows he's probably giving Boosie like 10, 15, thousand And that's why Boosie's. It should be Boosie and Vlad. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Boosie's always up there, and if it wasn't for Boosie, Vlad, I don't want to say Vlad wouldn't be where he's at, but he put him on that new wave of the internet shit where people started watching him more because Boosie was saying wild shit on there. You know?
Yeah,
So that's my, like, seriously, like Boosie was up there
yeah.
saying all types of crazy shit, and then people started recognizing Vlad was a thing because nobody cared about Vlad's thing until Boosie started really going up there and talking crazy.
Mhm.
And that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Everything is shock, shock, whatever that shit is, shock value.
Shock
Yeah,
value.
that's what's popping now. You get somebody to say some wild shit on there, and you break up that clip into 15 pieces, and then release the shit next week. You get million. Yeah, it's crazy. And that's what he's doing. He just shitting on. He can go out there. And, how come he don't go out there and interview country singers? Answer me that. I'm
Good
pretty sure
question.
country singers got drama.
That's a good
Somebody done
question.
fuck somebody's wife in the country world. I'm sure. I don't see him going and interviewing country singers or why don't he go interview Britney Spears? She lost her fucking mind a couple years ago. Why don't you understand? He don't interview none of these people. All he interested in interviewing is gangsters out on the street and to see who's gonna shoot who next. Same thing with Adam 22, another culture vulture. He's another band. He's another culture. He's number 2 on my list. He does the same shit Vlad does.
Yes.
Gets young black folks, young black artists on there, talk shit, amp them up by asking them dumbass questions, and then hyping them up, giving them weed to smoke, just, and then when they get shot outside his thing, he gets to go and repod that podcast and make more views because somebody got shot. Or like that's what they do, bro. That's what they do. They use the negative in our culture and to boost their
Because
likeness.
I remember that fight happened on No Jumper.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was a little, like, he looked shaking a little bit.
Bro, of course he was. Of course, because they're playing in a realm that they don't understand. They're playing in the streets, and they're bringing the
And that's
streets
really
into the media.
that's really the sad part because they don't understand just how quick that thing can go the wrong way.
Bro, you fuck around and get somebody up there that's really, really crazy, street hood person, and they on there, and one of their ops or somebody that they don't fuck with know where Adam 22 or Vlad videos is shooting, and they go and they just pop the whole place up. Like, this shit is not a game, bro, and that's what I'm saying. Like, see, before street dudes, gangster shit did not have an outlet. They just had the streets. If you wanted to talk shit, you talk shit in the streets, and it was word of mouth through bitches and whatever. Now they got Vlad, Adam 22, and all these other whack podcasters that push this shit forward. They push this negativity into YouTube and into social media, and then once it gets there, it's like fucking poison. It's spread everywhere. Everybody's talking about it, and then it takes one person to go to whoever and say, "Yo, I heard the dude on Vlad. You ain't gonna do shit about that," and that's it. The ego is done. The ego is done. You know, especially young male egos.
Oh, yeah.
Male egos in general are the worst. You know, guys' egos, our egos just boom. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what to do. I gotta be the biggest, the baddest all the time. But a young nigga ego in the streets, that should get bruised if you walk up on if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed.
Yeah, the young dude be crashing out, man.
Bro. So that's all I'm trying to say is that they play a dangerous game with their podcast, and they use the culture for that. Because, like I said, they won't interview anybody else but black cultural people because they know they can scoop them up for a low price, get them to talk shit, get them to go shoot each other, and then get to repost that video all over again and make a whole new bag from that, is what I'm saying. So it's nothing different than what the record labels do to drill music. Drill music is good. Yeah, I think it could have been something, but the fact that they used it to diss other people, if they would have just kept it like regular street shit, like just
Hmm.
talking about selling drugs or just talk about, stealing cars or whatever they were doing, but now they went into a whole another dimension where they were talking about killing people, doing it, and then singing about it, and then record labels were like, "Yo, people are listening to this. Let's sign these guys." They're putting. You got to remember, they're putting in their contract. They're new artists, so in that contract is like everything that pertains to you belongs to us. If you die, they probably have life insurance on these kids. So if they die, the record label gets not only their likeness and their music, but they also get that life insurance. Bro, they go out there, they shoot each other. Record label, oh, he was only hot for a moment anyway. They don't care. They get that quick money, bro.
Hmm.
One of these drill rappers get popped. Record label makes $1 million in a life insurance. They make $3-4 million off of streams because now the music is going up because he talking real shit now. And who
Yeah,
gets all that money?
sometimes their music go up after they
All the time, and
after
not
they die.
sometimes, all the time, 100%. Bro,
It's a
the
win
views
win
will go
win
up.
win.
The
Shit.
views will go up 1,000%, bro, after they get
After
popped
that, yep.
for the whole 3 or 4 months. That's all they talking about. And then guess what? Nobody talks about them no more. Record label made a bunch of money off of them, and they signing the next drill rapper that's gonna get shot.
Yep.
And then who's responsible? Not the labels are like, oh, fuck it. You know what the sad part is? And this is gonna sound crazy, but the sad part is a lot of those record labels are run by who? Who they run by? Run
White
by
folk.
the Jewish folks
Oh.
up at the top. They sign all these kids. They don't give a fuck. They go, let them do their gangster shit over there, and we'll just sign them, and we'll take all the money and blah 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 blah. That's what Kanye was trying to tell people, bro. Like these people in the
Yeah,
record
but
labels don't give a fuck.
it was the way in which Kanye did it.
Yeah,
Like
no shit.
Kanye didn't really care. It's
Mm.
just Kanye feelings was hurt, and now he want people on his side. So now he want to
Yeah,
tell them the
yeah.
truth.
But what he was saying wasn't wrong though,
But what he was,
because
yeah,
he wasn't
but
the
he want to
first
tell them
one
the truth.
saying it. He definitely wasn't the first one saying it. This has been going on for years, bro. Jay-Z said it, but he didn't say it the way Kanye did. But Jay-Z's
Mhm.
been saying it in his music. Nas was saying it, a bunch of years ago. Wu-Tang, you know what I'm saying? So it's out there, bro. It's definitely out there.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's my take on Vlad though.
yeah. So what we got next is the NFL.
NFL, yeah.
We were
So
talking.
explain that to me just a little bit so I know what's going on
Okay,
there.
the NFL is going to be using facial recognition security. All right, I got this real brief article right here. I'm gonna read this right quick.
Okay.
It says the National Football League in the United States has launched a facial recognition security protocol for sensitive areas in all of its stadiums for the 2024 season. The system the systems will use facial recognition to verify credentials from workers, press, and other game day personnel who have access to areas such as the field, locker rooms, press box, and other restricted areas of stadiums. So that's why they're using the facial
So
recognition.
it's to like get into buildings and shit.
Yeah. So
Okay.
basically, to get into buildings and to get into certain access of,
Bro, is it that
of
serious though that you need facial recognition to get into a fucking building?
well,
I mean, they're not making
maybe
fucking.
maybe they're trying to cut costs because right now your security is a actual person. So
Mm,
you have to pay all of these.
yeah.
Excuse me. You have to pay all of these people. So if we can use this facial recognition to give these people access to certain doors, then maybe we can cut costs and save some money instead of
Mm,
paying. I don't know how many. Instead of paying 100 security guards, we just pay for this one um, security software, and eventually they end up paying for itself.
yeah. That's crazy.
But
I don't know about that though.
I don't know about it either because how uh, I don't know. I just don't put my trust into computers like that. Number one. Number two, the I forget which state it was, which stadium it was, but those security people are pushing back on this um, facial recognition security thing. Like
Yeah,
they're planning on not showing up at all if the NFL decides to go through with this, and in which
yeah.
they have. So
Uh,
yeah.
uh, I mean, to be honest, man, I remember one time when I was at work when I was working at the hospital. This is way long ago, bro. This is before facial anything. They were
Hmm.
using fingerprint things, right? Where you put your
Hmm.
thumb on the clock and the fingerprints. This is way before coronavirus and all that shit, right?
Hmm.
Um, we it was a union based job. They freaked out because people did not want their fingerprints to be had or kept on file. So they pushed a what was it petition to not do it, and they did a strike again, and they won. They didn't do the fingerprint. I remember they put the boxes in, and I think at one point we were using them for a little while, and then they stopped. They were trying to get people to use them more often, but a lot of people didn't want to do it, and they just ended up using like these ID cards.
Hmm.
But yeah, they wanted to do that, and they freaked out because they didn't want that shit on file. I think it's you know I think it's good that people don't want their identity owned by their company that they're working for, because that's what happens. You sell your fucking face to your job, and then
True.
your job has all this information on you, like they have your face, the color, your eyes and your fingerprints, and then guess what, they get a data breach, and you
Hmm.
lose all that shit to some Chinese kid in China who stole all your look what happened to the social security shit.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like literally everybody in America social security is which to me is like whatever. Our socials are out there. If they're gonna get it, they're gonna get it, right?
Hmm.
But how Social Security in America, everybody's shit gets gone, like that's nuts to me if you think about it.
Hmm.
Like that goes to show you that our information is not being seriously secured or preserved for us. Period.
Right.
At all. Like you're not. They don't care. And then the craziest part is that um there's no process, like, oh, the government lost our information. Okay, well, can I sue you motherfuckers, because now my information's out there and somebody's gonna steal. If somebody steals my shit and goes and buys a fucking car, I gotta pay that debt off and prove that wasn't me.
Right.
But I'm not the one that lost my social security card, you bitch ass. Like you are.
Yeah, you are, and then they make you pay for it. Yeah,
They make you pay for it.
but
Which I've met people who got frauded and had to go to court and pay all this crazy amount of money just to prove that they're not the person on there.
mm,
So like that's the thing. I just
it's
don't
tough, man.
I just don't get how we allow these companies to take our shit, and then when shit goes south, the company's like, "Oh,
No accountability, man.
I don't
It's crazy.
I don't know what happened."
But see, this is my thing about the facial recognition system in the NFL. They're claiming that they're using this for their personnel and security purposes for their personnel.
That's their
This
excuse,
has
bro.
none. They have this has nothing to do with the citizens. This is strictly for the employers and employees of the NFL.
Yeah.
I know for a fact they're going to be using that facial recognition to point people out in the crowd. And if you have a
Oh yeah.
warrant, if you have a warrant for your arrest, you're not making it back to your car.
No. No,
I
definitely
know
not.
that for a fact.
Definitely not.
So that's just nah. I'm not feeling it,
It'll
man.
just be a matter of time before they use facial recognition, and you go, let's say me or you go to a game and
Hmm.
they scan our face. Oh, he got an outstanding warrant,
Right.
and we in the middle of the game and we go to jail.
That's what I'm saying.
But they
It's,
took our
it's
money already, but they making sure they're calling the cops to get us out of there because we're criminals. And I'm not saying, and this is just me saying, if you're a criminal and you enjoy football, that you shouldn't go to a football game. I'm not saying that. I'm just
Mhm.
saying like this is where we're going. Is like we're gonna be able to tell you, hey, if you got a warrant, you better not step outside because we are gonna scan your face at your next football field. I mean, the next football game, or the next time you roll up in a movie theater or any one of these fancy places where we have a large scale of people, And like I said, this is what I was telling you earlier. Like the AI shit can be good because let's say we got a mass murderer out there. He decided to go to a football game like an asshole, and we catch him.
Mhm.
Good, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good, right? But let's say you go to a football game and you got a warrant for a ticket because I don't know you didn't pay it or you forgot, and they come pick you up during the game. Not so good. Like
Right.
that's
Right.
that's a whole, and that's what I'm saying. There's no scale in it. It's either this or
Or is
nothing.
that? Yeah.
Right. They're not gonna be like, oh well, it's just a ticket. It's fine. No, they're not gonna do that. It's outstanding. They come in and get them,
Right.
and that's what I'm saying. There's no, because they'll easily say, well, what's right is right, what's wrong. He's an outstanding warrant. He doesn't even belong in the studio. Okay, I get that, but come on, dude. If he's there with his kid, his family, he didn't know. Like, there's a lot of things that could have went wrong. It could have been it could have picked up his face wrong. Maybe it's
Mhm.
computer. It could have been wrong. Not
Yeah.
everything is 100%,
I mean, because you
especially
do
when it comes to new
you do
technology.
have doppelgangers. Oh
Oh
my
yeah,
god.
it's crazy. Yeah,
You
you'd be
do have
surprised how many
doppelgangers,
people
bro.
you'd be surprised how
God,
many
dog.
people kind of have and look like you. So that's what I'm saying. And not only that, but you got to realize with this whole facial thing comes with uh, other people out there might have a software that can screw somebody else up.
Hmm.
Like they could put on a fake mask or put that you were there but you weren't. Like it's too much going on for us to really rely on technology that we don't understand that much yet, dog.
Right. And
We
then
don't
I
know how
I
that's gonna work.
think I think this could be an experiment to see how the public is willing to accept being monitored
Hmm.
in such a way, because I truly feel like the elites or the higher, they're really trying their best to control every single thing, right? So I think they're trying to usher in this new era of living to where everything you're doing is monitored.
Yeah.
Like you are under surveillance 24/7, bro. Like in the movies. And if you
Yeah.
say anything, and it's going to get to the point where if you speak out against the government, they coming to get you.
Yeah.
If you act up, they come. It reminds me of, it was a DC movie. I forget the name of the animated movie, but um they the justice, it wasn't the Justice League, it was the Justice Lords. They
Mm.
fixed society where there was no crime, but it's like you couldn't even get upset because there was a scene where this guy, he was upset about his bill. Like his bill, he thought his bill was too high. He got upset
Mm.
by it, and when he got upset, he ended up getting arrested and everything.
Oh,
So
see,
the
yeah,
bat
okay.
the Batman from our universe was trying to talk to the Batman of the other universe, like he's trying to get him to see how this
Yeah,
thing
how
is
wrong it
wrong.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean that's what it seemed like it's going to get to, man. It's like, okay, because you got Ring doorbells everywhere.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? And they're connected to the internet. And if it's connected to the internet, they have access to it. So
Yeah.
we're really getting to a age or an era of living where everything you say and do will be monitored.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So
I think honestly we're already there,
mhm.
just not on the grand scale like Minority
what
Report kind of
was
vibe. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like you go outside and there's a camera in your face already. I just think right now we're at the premature age of that life. Like no bullshit. I think in like maybe, and with technology changing every day the way it does, I think if you would have asked me this 10 years ago, I would have said maybe 50 years. But if you ask me now, I think in 10 years
I say
or
five. I
or
say five. Because
I only
technology.
say I only say 10 because the technology could be there, but the legislation is not keeping up with it. You understand what I'm saying? So
I see.
like,
I
yeah,
see.